I'm going to get Jayde on this broadcast really quickly. Give me 1 second, and then we are going to go ahead and get started. Y'all go ahead. Don't be rude. Speak to me if you're here. Say, hey. Like, what's Sam? It's going to take me just a few seconds to get Jay at it. We're going to be talking about just the different phases that you go through whenever you start to take accountability for your existence and say no to the things that don't serve you. I know for me, initially when I started to be like, nah, I'm good on that, I felt bad about what other people might think, what other people might say, how other people might feel about me starting to say yes to myself. Oh, Shanice doesn't show up to this. She don't fuck with us no more, this, that, and whatever. And I had to get to a point where I just didn't give a fuck. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today, just what that transition is like for us. I have been a member of AEU for about, there goes Jayde. Hey, Jayde. But I've been a member of AEU for going on about 3 years. I've been an actual student of ADISA for about 2 years now. I'm coming up on 2 years. I'm actually a graduate coach of the DHT program. And we have Jayde Chamberlain here, who is a junior coach in the DHT program. So welcome to the stage, Jayde.
Can you see me?
I can't see you, but I can hear you. Let me see if I can bring you on camera. Okay, I see the request popping up. All right. It looks like your camera is off. I can hear you, but it doesn't look like your camera is on.
It's on.
Yeah.
You're joining the video as a guest, so it says I've joined.
Yeah, you're definitely, you have a slot on the screen, but your camera wasn't showing up. Let me try again. Trying again. Yeah. Boom. There we go. We got it. Yes. All right. I was just introducing myself, just for those of you who don't know me, because I have not been live in this group before, letting you know that I've been a student of Adis's for about 2 years. I'm a graduate coach. I've been coaching under her platform since I graduated in, June of this year at the boot camp. So I've been learning on this platform for a couple of years, and now I have the opportunity to teach here. So shout out to Adisa, you know what I'm saying? The founder of the Heart Center business that really has helped me to mold my own Heart Center business. So I'm super grateful to her. And then Jayde, I'll give you an opportunity to kind of introduce yourself to the people before we hop into the topic.
Hello, I'm Miss Jayde. I'm a junior coach, and I'm very, very grateful for Adisa. Like, nobody brings it real and it's raw in your face like Adisa. She cannot be duplicated. She really cannot be duplicated. And she just goes for the jugular, and that's what I love about her, because that really resonates with me. So I love it.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for joining, Jay. Shout out to everyone who's listening, who's tuning in. We appreciate you. Like I was saying, we want to talk a little bit about like the different transitions that you go through as you start to honor yourself, instead of moving in obligation. I know for a lot of empaths and for my personal experience, I spent most of my life trying to conform to what other people expected of me and make sure that I was a good daughter, that I was a good mom, that I was a good wife, that I was a good friend, that I was a good church member, that I was a good employee. And those were the things that kind of drove me as my obligation to the titles that I had outside of just who I was as a soul, as a person, as a woman. And as I started to pour energy into my Heart Center business, I noticed that as I grew myself, I didn't have as much time and energy to put into all the other shit and all the other titles that I had created outside of that. And so I kind of had to start being what a lot of people would label as selfish, right? I had to start saying no to certain events. I had to start ignoring phone calls from certain people. I had to stop participating and devoting my energy to certain organizations. And initially, I was very concerned about, oh my God, what will they think of me? Like, you know, what will they think of me?
Yes,
What are they going
totally
to think
get
of me?
that.
But I had to decide that what I thought of me and my relationship with myself was primary to what anyone else may think, you know, and what anyone else may feel. And I posted the other day. It was funny because when I first started to do this, it was like I was spending just as much energy trying to like figure out how people felt and what people were going to say and trying to justify my actions within myself as I would have spent like going and doing the thing that I didn't want to do, right? And that was like my experience at first.
Girl, you were managing reactions.
Absolutely.
You were trying to manage reactions.
And spending all my energy doing that, you know, but at some point I was able to just kind of settle into myself and be like, you know what? I am so glad that I didn't go do that thing because now I have the energy and the time and the space to do the things I actually want to do. And I moved into a space from like guilt into gratitude for the choices that I was making. And so that's just kind of what we want to talk about today, Jay. I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor and just let you chime in on like what your experience has been like throughout that process, what you learned, and what you have to offer those for listeners.
Well, I'm just coming out of that stage where I was worried about I was image conscious and worried about what are people going to say, what are they going to do, what if I post it, somebody has a problem with it or whatever. And it was really difficult because we are so programmed to worry about everybody else and put ourselves last. And when we switch out of that, we kind of relearn that behavior and say, no, I need to be the most important thing. Because you know what? At the end of the day, nobody cares how I feel and what I'm doing except for me. Like, I'm the one that has to be accountable to myself. And I realized no is a beautiful word. No is a very beautiful word. And I have found, here's the secret that you're not even paying attention to. Okay, this is what you're going to learn on the other end of this. No increases your value in a big way. Because the more you say no and the more you're unavailable, the more valuable your time does become. So when you do choose to expend that energy on something and you make sure that it's worth your time and your effort and that you're going to get something back into your cup to be poured into, you're kind of making them either level up or level out.
Kind of what they need to do. Being able to say no to people does make them appreciate your time a little bit more. And it also sends a message out to the universe that you're not going to accept just anything, that you're going to be a good steward over your time, right? That you realize that you have an obligation to yourself, an obligation to spirit, and you can't use your energy being obligated to everything else but what you came here to do. You know, it's a message to the universe that, look, like I got shit to do. So if it's not aligned with my purpose, if it's not aligned with my calling, if it's not aligned with what I'm set out to do on this earth, then I don't have time for it. And then the universe knows, hey, well, let me start sending her the resources and the connections that she needs in order to actually fulfill her purpose now that she's not squandering them on whoever asked her for her time, attention, money, and whatever else it is that you were giving away freely to people who weren't actually making contributions towards your goals.
Yes, very much so. And you find new opportunities dropping in your lap that you didn't expect, that are like, you know, I've been looking for you. I've been looking for somebody that I can team up with to do these things and level up myself. And then, wow, here you are. You know why? Because when you said no and you set that boundary, you kind of pushed that away because it wasn't serving you and you weren't getting your cup filled from that. You were kind of blocking that blessing from being presented in your life to be able to do that. So you're actually holding yourself back just in 3D, 5D. You're holding yourself back by just saying, you know what? I've got to wait and take care of this one, obligation real quick. No, you don't have time for that. You don't need to take care of any obligation real quick at all. Like, stop. The only obligation you have is to yourself. Put yourself first, make yourself a priority, and look.
Yeah, but when you've been in a situation where you have not made yourself a priority your whole life, it takes practice. It takes practice. It's not going to feel good at first. Yes. It's going to feel like you're doing something wrong. It's going to feel like you're betraying the people who you have devoted your time and energy to. You're going to lose connections. People are going to get mad. People are going to think negative things about you. People are going to have a lot of shit to talk and things to say. But how you feel about you has to be more important. You have to be able to, like Jay was saying, prioritize yourself. And then also be able to accept that the people who have a problem with you saying yes to you are no good for you. Like, they need to be out of your life. Like, you have to release them.
Yeah, they're the ones to be the boundaries for. Absolutely.
And it's crazy how we will not notice the fact that when we are saying yes to people who don't respect us and don't respect our values, it is an act of self-hatred. Like, getting to the truth of it's an act of self-hatred. In order for you to say, you know what, I'm going to take my needs and I'm going to put them on the back burner because I don't want to upset this person. What the fuck about you being upset? What about you? Who's going to make sure that you're not upset? Who's going to protect you? And then we act surprised when our inner child throws a temper tantrum.
Yes. And then you have to act out, and then you get labeled crazy, whatever. But you know what? The haters are going to talk. They're going to run their mouth. You can't stop them from running their mouth. So the only thing you can do is really go, wow, I didn't know that about myself. What else am I? What else do I do? That's kind of interesting. You just kind of have to shine on and just be like, yeah, you don't have that power over me anymore. I called it back. It's my energy now, and you don't get it no more.
Yes, nothing like reclaiming that power. Like noticing that, fuck, I've had the power to do this the whole time, and I've been giving away my power. Like, nobody was making me do this. I didn't have to. I wasn't ever obligated to do this shit. Like, I could just do me around this motherfucker. Like, that shit is such an amazing feeling once you finally get to there, and you're able to just push past the initial feelings of guilt and disappointment, really, right? Because I know me, I had to own the fact that I was very manipulative at one point. And not in the things that I did and said so much as in things that I didn't do and the things that I didn't say, right? Because I would be in relationship with a person and I would be feeling a certain type of way or having a certain thought. But in order to keep this person around, I wouldn't share it with them. I wouldn't tell them, oh, well, really, I don't like that. Or, really, I would prefer if it was done this way, because I didn't want to upset them or offend them. And I knew that if I spoke my truth, that person would no longer want to be connected to me. So I would manipulate them by pretending that I was okay with their actions and with what it is that they were doing. And not only was I manipulating them, but I was cheating myself, and I had to own that. That, I'm being manipulative. It's like I'm not even giving this person the opportunity to love the real me because I'm not showing the real me. I'm manipulating us both and cheating myself out of opportunities for real, genuine, authentic love when I'm showing up as somebody that I'm not, and I'm being quiet and not saying the things that I really think and feel when I'm saying yes, when I want to say no. Like, I'm lying. I'm being a liar. I have to own that.
Yes, and that's not real. That's not who you are, and it's not who I am. And I've had to gut check myself on that very same thing. So totally get where you're coming from. And then I took it a little step farther and started beating myself up over it because I'm my worst critic. So I'm going to say, go, man, you should have done better. You know better. You need to do this. You need to be authentic. Like, telling on my own self and being my own parent to my own inner child and saying, just let her express herself. Let her come out. Let her be authentic. And, I'm okay. At the end of the day, I'm okay being alone. I'm okay being my own best friend because I have a whole lot more fun that way. I can just skip down the sidewalk if I want to. I don't need someone's permission or to go, oh, skipping down the sidewalk. Yes, I did. Yes, I did skip down the sidewalk because I wanted to. Guess what? I'll probably skip back because I can. Maybe I'll play hopscotch. Why not? I mean, I got to be able to do that and not be worried about, oh, man, you're acting childish. What is that all about? You know what? Maybe she wanted to come out and play. That needs to be okay. If it's not okay with you, then move on. I don't have time for that.
Absolutely. I remember being in DHT one weekend, and Adisa labeled herself the spiritual debt collector, right? And that's exactly what she has been in my life, and I'm so grateful for it because we do have a debt to pay. Like, we came to this realm with these gifts, with these capabilities. It's no coincidence that you're an empath. You signed up for this. This is something that you asked for. And in return for having these gifts, there is a debt that you have to pay. And it's not to all of these motherfuckers that you feel obligated to.
No.
You need to hold yourself accountable to the mission that your soul has on this earth. You need to reconnect with who you really are, with your authenticity, so that you can fulfill your purpose. You know what I'm saying? So that all the things that you signed up to do, you can actually do. But as long as you're obligating yourself to everything external and everything outside of you, you're just sitting on that debt that you owe. And is it like collecting interest?
And it's get the reward for that. I mean, I don't know. I just recently started launching my heart-centered business, and I'm super excited, a little overwhelmed. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm just the way that I pour into it and get so much out of it. I know this is supposed to be helping and empowering men and women and this kind of stuff, and I know that that's supposed to be the objective. And I totally get that. But what it's doing for me is just like, I'm empowered. I'm excited. I'm like, my inner child is screaming, yes, it's play day. And it's work. I'm like, what? It's play day. How can it be work? What is this? But the way you get to give back and you get to see the look on their face when you're showing them some of the finished product and stuff like that. And they're like, wow. I love that word. Wow is such an amazing word. I need to hear wow all the time. Just to hear the wow when you're done and just go, yeah, I created that. Yeah, you did that. Yeah, that's you. Just to be able to do that. I feel like I'm the one getting blessed, and I'm the one that's supposed to be blessing others. And I held myself back by not launching that. And if it wasn't for it, it's kind of kicking my butt, saying, hey, what are you doing? Heal yourself. Get out there and do it. Let it be born. Get yourself in the right place. I don't even understand.
Yes. And you know, Jay, what you just said is so important. Something that we've been learning about recently, right? Being able to give from your overflow. If what you're doing every day,
Yes.
if what you are building your life on doesn't fill you up, doesn't give you joy, doesn't make you happy to wake up in the morning, you can't pour anything out to anybody else. Like, you have to figure out what makes you full, what gives you drive, what motivates you and fills you up and gives you joy and brings enjoyment and peace into your own life, and then let that overflow into everybody else, right? Like, I wrote 2 years ago in a journal that I wanted my day-to-day life to be filled with conversations that help people heal and grow and fulfill their purpose here on earth. And so to be sitting here 2 years later, and part of my everyday life is getting online, having conversations to help people heal and grow and fulfill their purpose, is literally a dream come true. And it fills me up to the very tippy top. And then I have the ability to overflow to the people who are connected to me, instead of feeling like I have to go sit every single day in a desk and be a certain way. And that's the only way that I can provide for myself. And that's the only way that I can make a contribution to the world, is if I'm giving out to other people and doing this and playing this role and being a robot and fitting in people's box. You know, just the realization that, you know, I'm built for this, literally built for this. And that when I'm putting my effort towards the things that I'm actually designed to do, it's not draining. I don't have headache from it. I'm not mad about it. I'm not frustrated. I'm not regretting having to wake up in the morning. I'm not looking at my watch, oh, when the fuck is this shit gonna be over? Bitch, I'm ready to go home. Like, there's none of that. You know, when you're walking in your destiny, you're doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. And so it's important that we're taking inventory. Like, are the things that you're doing every day bringing you joy? Are the things that you're saying yes to bringing increase into your spiritual life? Or are you draining yourself out, tying yourself to the obligations that you have to other people?
And that's something we disregard a lot. We disregard our spiritual food. We really do. We're so busy caught in the physical world and trying to meet the demands of the physical world. That, okay, I have shelter? Yes. I have food? Okay, so I've got some basics here. I got air to breathe. I guess that's good. I mean, we worry about those things, but do we take the time to sit and go, what's feeding my soul? What's feeding my heart? What's bringing it joy? We're last on the list. We put ourselves last on the list, especially as moms. It's just something we do. And dads, too. We're last on the list. We're busy taking care of everybody else and stuff. Not really. What about us? What's taking care of us on the outside. How can we feed ourselves? What can we do? How can we get that, our cup filled? And they don't maybe understand it's not a cup of water, it's a cup and what that is. And you got to feed that. You got to feed that with joy and peace, and happiness and love and kind of thing. How can you do that if you don't understand what brings you peace and joy and happiness and love? You have to kind of figure that out, and that's part of your spiritual journey. Things that you need to figure out. What is my discipline I need to remove so that I can get those things to fill my cup? Because that was where I was coming from. I had no idea how to find that. What is that? What the fuck is joy and happiness and love? I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't. I needed to figure it out, and I needed somebody to kind of say, hey, this is what this is supposed to look like. It's supposed to feel like it. Wow, foreign concept. What is this strange feeling I'm feeling right now? You needed to kind of have somebody point that out. That sounds really strange, but that's where I was coming from. I needed to have that.
And then when we are constantly pouring out and pouring out and pouring out and not tending to our own spiritual garden, we end up burned out. And we are so surprised. I just don't know what happened. Why am I having this breakdown? I don't know why I'm so tired. I don't know why. Because you're not doing anything to refuel yourself. Everything that you do is output. There's no input into your spiritual tank. There's nothing that's feeding you. So of course you're going to burn out. If you're always constantly just pouring out to everyone and not pouring into yourself, what other option is there but burnout? Like the connection that we have to source is infinite, right. But we have to tap the fucking. You have to tap the fuck in, and like Jay was saying, like self-discovery in order to figure out the right way, or I don't want to say the right way because there are multiple ways, right? That could be good for you that you like to tap in. But if you don't do self-discovery to figure out, okay, this is what we plan should be, this is what makes me feel good, this is what I enjoy, then you're gonna end up burnt out. Like do the work of the self-discovery. Find out what you like. Don't settle for the complacency that you feel right now. Like, I just don't like anything anymore. Nothing makes me happy. Figure out what the fuck does. Something does. Something does. Shit. For a long time, for me, I'm a tourist. It was naps. Baby, I love naps. It's nothing like a good afternoon nap to feel me right back up to the top. Like, that's what I like to do. I like to nap. You know what I'm saying? It's my natural nature. But when I'm running around all day, every day, trying to make sure that everybody else is straight, then I don't have time to nap. I don't even have time to know that that's something that I actually enjoy because, well, the world said that means I'm lazy. You know, because I'm stuck in society's view of myself. So find out what you enjoy. Find out what fills you up. Find out what feeds you and what fills your cup.
And it could be little things. It could be little things like I'll just sing, I'll blast the radio down, and I'll be top of my lungs, and I don't care if I'm sitting at a restaurant, looking at me like I'm crazy. Sing my little heart out because that's what I want to do. It makes me feel good. I'm gonna do it, you know. And writing. I've been doing a lot of writing, not journaling, but just writing. Like so many people telling me, like, girl, you need to write a book. Girl, you need to write a screenplay. You just need to write. Like you just wow to do this. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I will. So I'm gonna start writing some stuff down and trying to put it together. And that's my little project that I'm working on too. Because why not? Why not? Let's get it out. Let's be creative. Let's tell my story in a creative way and let that process happen. Because you know what? It's kind of interesting to get the story out. And it's interesting to create characters that are fun. Some fire in their belly.
You know, all of us have a womb, man and woman in life. All of us have a womb. All of us have a center of creativity. All of us have divine spark within us, right? And when we're not doing what we need to do in order to exercise that divine spark, in order to be creative and be creators, we're going to burn out. Like, figure out how your spirit wants to express itself in this world. Like, what is your creative genius? You know, Jay says she likes to write. I like to write songs. You know, I like to sing. I like to express myself in my movement, in my facial expressions. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to figure out what is your creative hack. You know, do you like to paint? Do you like to draw? Do you like to podcast? You know, do you want to just hear yourself talk? Do you like to create conversation? Do you like to create Facebook posts? You know, that also is a form of creation. Like, how does your divine spark want to express itself? That's a really good start, a really good walk away, a really good homework for anyone who's listening. Like, figure out what is one of the ways that your divine spark likes to express itself that fills you up. that gives you energy, that makes you excited about the opportunity to do it again, right?
And it may feel strange at first. It's okay. We're just going to kind of roll and receive. And that's a hard one, is learning to receive. At least for me. My goodness. I could go tomorrow and burn myself out. I did so because of how to receive. It was awkward. It's awkward. I'll tell you. I'm like, what is this? All right, okay, receive. Well, okay, didn't die. Nobody got hurt. Okay, this is all right. Maybe it's not so scary. Maybe it's. I know that sounds, but when that's what you've done your whole life, it's awkward. I can't be the only one on the planet. I'm just
absolutely not.
Yeah. So, what is this filling my cup stuff? This is all new, and you're like, okay, and you know what? It's not so bad. It's less awkward, and it's actually kind of like, oh, well, maybe I can do this. What is this overflow? A new concept. Okay, overflow. I like overflow. Overflow is good. Give more overflow. How do I get more? Learning that process, and it takes that, and it's part of leveling up. Some things that you have to do. And that's okay if you want to laugh at that, because I'm like, here's what it is. I had to learn how to receive.
To relate it to kind of like something 3D, you know how, or maybe you don't know, you probably do. I sense that you do know how you go from the shift from living paycheck to paycheck to actually having some money that you can save over, and then like not needing to wait until the next check hits to pay your bills. It's kind of like, what you mean? I can pay this bill today. just like this, like I don't have to wait until my next paycheck comes in for me to do things. Like I don't have to, like, you definitely still have to budget. Like that part never goes away, but like that opportunity to have some breathing room. When it comes in, it does feel awkward. You know what I'm saying? So as you start to fill your cup, you will go through that awkward phase of like, I feel good every day. What is this? What is this? You mean somebody just gotta randomly do things for me? Like, oh, okay, I like this. I get used to this, you know. But yeah, all that initial shock of it. So that's how, you know, your takeaway from this. Like, figure out what fills your cup and devote yourself to that. You know what I'm saying? Devote yourself to making some time for you. Let go of the guilt and the shame that you feel initially when you start to say no to things that do not serve you, and embrace the gratitude for the overflow that you're blessed with when you're not pouring out to people who are unworthy and undeserving, and appreciate the value that you bring to yourself when you're able to say no to those things that don't serve you. Jay, did you have any closing words before we hop off?
Just want to tell everybody, just to say no. That doesn't reach your value. Be more popular, exclusive, and if you are worrying about and all that kind of stuff, exclusive than overused and abused. So I like exclusive. That's a better word for me. So I'm going to learn to say no more often. That's my value is through the roof, because I want to be treated like a queen. So I'm treating myself like a queen. So I've just upped the value by saying no. So that's the takeaway is that it's okay to say no.
Thank you so much, Jayde. If you have enjoyed the conversation between Jayde and I that we share with you on today, go ahead and like this video, share it. We do host, co-host with Adisa every weekend. Now on the weekend. Every Wednesday evening, we have DMT, which is Divine Metaphysical Teachings. And we do give away golden tickets to that class. So for first-time participants, if you would like to attend that class on Wednesday evening at 7 Central Time, you can comment golden ticket on this video, and you'll be given an opportunity to attend that class for free. It is normally $155 a month. But if you go ahead and comment golden ticket in the chat today, we will give you admission for one time for free. And then you might get a discount or whatever if you decide to sign up. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. But we thank you very much for joining. Again, like I said, if you like this video, make sure you like it, share it. If you would like to see Jayde and I here again next week, let us know. You know what I'm saying? Just if you feel like this is a great idea, which obviously it was, just let us know. We would love to do this once more for you guys. So thank you all very much. I hope you have a fabulous day, and just make the rest of this week serve you. You're a goddess. You're a god. You have complete, total control over everything that's going on in your life that's projecting from within you. So if you don't like something that you see in your outer world, fix it in your inner world, and just, like I said, make this week serve you well. Thank you.